How's everybody doing? This is like my third time trying to do it. First time the audio sucked. Second time I kept mumbling. You kept saying the same stuff. So third time's a charm. Trying to get better. Okay. Today I'm going to talk about the Alfie Evans case that happened in the UK. There's been two cases of where the government has stepped in and overridden the parental rights to choose where the child can go, what treatment plan they can get, and basically to keep them alive. Last year, I can't remember if it was early this year or into last year, Charlie Gard was the first real case of a little kid being on a coma and the government stepping in and trumping the parents' rights and saying that keeping the kid alive would be inhumane and is making the kid suffer, basically. So they did that with Charlie Gard, and that was pretty hard. With my child, I'm not saying has. Going to the NICU. I don't know if anybody's ever been in the NICU. It's awful. It'll make you break down just washing your hands, walk in there. It'll truly make you blessed on how happy and healthy your family really is. But as a father with a kid with a disability, I couldn't imagine not being able to choose what treatment Savannah would get. I couldn't imagine that. The situation Savannah's in, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but basically there's two types of surgeries that she could have. One of them, they have to wait till she's 4, where they do like a little muscle tissue transplant. They can't do it yet because I guess the muscle isn't ready to be transplanted. But there's another surgery where they could do right now, which obviously they don't want to do because it leaves scars. So we're really trying to help her with patching to help her muscles in her eyes to where, and she's a trooper, man. I love that little girl to death. She is a trooper. She puts that thing on. She's fussy, but you know what? She wears that thing all day. I love you, Savannah. You're awesome. You too, Paisley. But anyway, I couldn't imagine the state coming in and saying, you know what, Miss Jones, Mr. Jones, here's what treatment plan we're going to do, because it costs too much to do this surgery, and we're not going to do that. So we're just going to go ahead and operate now, and now your daughter's going to have permanent scars above her eyes when it could have been preventable, but hey, welcome to socialized medicine. So Alfie Evans just passed away this weekend. I believe it was last Wednesday or Thursday. They pulled Alfie off life support. Alfie had some kind of brain disorder where he was in a coma, and basically against the parents' wishes, the doctors, and I guess they have like a NHS, which is their national health system in England, UK. They have like a panel of judges / doctors that make decisions on either what treatment to give on big cases or just to pull the plug. Regardless, really, the nuance of the situation, they don't really love these people. They don't know them. They're not going to go to the funeral. They're not going to visit them. They're not going to cry any tears when little Alfie passes. I mean, this is what comes with socialized medicine people. But the parents, you know, said a couple things publicly, nothing crazy, but saying how, you know, literally the Italian government stepped in, the Vatican said, hey, here, we'll transport Alfie and we will provide the medicine and treatment to keep him alive. The government of UK or this panel says, nope, we're going to let him die with dignity. By the way, 2-year-olds can't die with dignity. I know that sounds bad, and I'm stealing this from Ben Shapiro, but 2-year-olds don't really have dignity. I mean, they poop in their pants. How much dignity can you have when your expected behavior is to poop in your pants? And trust me, one of my favorite people in the world is a 2-year-old, but she doesn't have dignity. You know, I mean, I wish they did, but they don't. Kids don't. So what they're saying is that they're not going to let the kid move, because then that would be cruel. You would be in the wrong, and you would be making this kid suffer. irregardless of what the parents want or just the one for this kid to live. Regardless of that, they cost too much. So you don't ever hear Bernie Sanders talking about the decisions like that have to be made. You'll never hear. I promise you, the last 2 words you'll hear, or last 4 words you'll hear from Bernie Sanders is Alfie Evans and Charlie Gard. I can guarantee you that's the last 4 words you'll hear from Bernie Sanders. But with Alfie Evans, it's a different situation than the Charlie Gard. Equally as shitty, but there's another layer to it, because the parents of Alfie Evans never once were trying to have the government pay for it. They were never trying to have the British government or the UK government or European pay for it. They weren't ever trying to do that. Now, which NHS, I'm sure that's England or the UK. That they wouldn't ever pay for it. They were Italy was trying to accept him as a one of their own. So therefore, getting rid of England altogether, you wouldn't have to pay a dime. Out of sight, out of mind to y'all. What's the difference? Move on to the next 2-year-old in a coma. But yet they deny that. They deny that. And one of these guys on this board said that they please look this up, please. But I don't remember the exact quote, but I know it was goofy in English, so I know the rough about. And what he was referring to is the dad, because they pulled the little boy off life support and he lived. He lived for like 3 days. He lived off life support for 3 days, and they still wouldn't give him any treatment or still wouldn't let him go anywhere. Nope, they just let him pass away. And that's terrible. That is terrible. So the dad made a statement, and one of the guys, of course it was anonymous, they didn't give it a name, but one of the people in this group, they basically said the parents can't expect their decision to change unless they have a sea of change in their behavior, whichever a sea of change means. So you're telling me you're doing, wait, you're not telling me, but that quote tells me that this is personal, that there's more to it than just the cost. Maybe these parents, if they went out there and didn't buck the system or didn't speak up for their son who doesn't have a voice, that maybe they were allowed to leave. Is that an example? Are these people an example of anybody who goes out and speaks against the crown, speaks against the NHS? Heaven forbid you speak out of the left. Ooh, heaven forbid you start speaking facts. I mean, it's craziness. It's craziness. That's why there is a red pill meme that it lives on, because the left doesn't involve facts. They don't. They have problems with paying for the health care of a little kid, but they have got zero issue with letting illegals in. They have zero issue of that. I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds? I mean, if the kid was an illegal, would they have treated him? What if the kid, well, perfect timing. And the dad said this, and I think this is what got him in trouble. I forgot. The dad said, what would happen if this kid was a royal baby? Because the royal baby, they just had a baby during all this. He said, what happens if he was a royal baby? Would they pull the plug then? And it's like nobody even acknowledged him saying that. It was like, oop, oop, oop. Just like they were just, and I could go on this forever too. And this is what really chaps my ass about Democrats not accepting the VA, Ronnie Jackson. People don't realize, whenever you have people just sitting there twiddling their thumbs at the VA, people are dying. Seriously, people are dying. Veterans are dying. Lack of care. Lack of care. I mean, you want to give illegals treatment, legals care, legals all this, but yet, heaven forbid, VA stocked, ready to treat people. Or heaven forbid, you let them go to private practice and get treated, then just hand the receipts to the state. No, we can't have that. But we want socialized medicine, right? We want that socialized medicine where they ration it and they don't incentivize people to become doctors. Why on earth would I go to school, bust my butt, and become a doctor and not drive a Maserati? Because whenever healthcare becomes nationalized or socialized, that means doctors aren't incentivized. They don't make as much. So why would they become a brain surgeon? Why would they? And that's another thing that's funny you never hear leftists talk about. If our health system's so bad, why is it all the rich people in all these socialized medicine countries like Canada, Australia, anywhere in Europe, why do they always come here for their treatments? Why is that? Is it because the open market incentivizes people on bringing down the cost and having better care, better human resources? I mean, this is what kills me about the left. You don't incentivize people. You incentivize people for the wrong reasons. The wrong reasons. I mean, perfect example, just like when it comes to hecklers, you give the heckler veto all the time. Oh, they're getting rowdy. We can't let this person speak. Heaven forbid their words hurt people's feelings. Heaven forbid words hurt feelings. I swear, sometimes I sound like a 75-year-old man in a 29-year-old man's body. I think that about myself, but no, the world has gone mad. I mean, me and Miranda talk about some of the examples we see every day, and it's just like, how can you make this stuff up? How can you make it up? How can you? I have a pretty imaginative mind, but I don't know if I could make it up if I tried. I really don't. I really don't. You know, North Korea and South Korea just met in trying to end a war. CNN's busy trying to worry how it's going to blow up in Trump's face and how he's going to ruin it and all this. It's like, what? Can you guys just not just stop for a second and realize what's good for humanity, or we just going to keep trying to go after power? I don't know. But tomorrow, well, I want to do the Michelle Fields thing before it loses steam, because I got a couple things on that. That means it wouldn't be a very long video. I only got a couple quick points on it. So if anybody has any ideas of stuff that happens, please let me know. I'm going to start making these public, so please share them if you like it. Let me know what you guys think, if you got any ideas. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great day.